What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, guys, I'm here to bring you all my review of Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, Episode 5. Let's get this started. So with this episode of Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, pretty much this episode was mainly showing off Mumei's character and showing possible hints to her backstory and also, just trying to get the viewer acquainted with her overall character in general. It's been hinted at in the past that, she has had sort of a, resembled a backstory as Ikuma did, how he ended up becoming a Kabaneri. However, we don't really know how Mumei ended up becoming a Kabaneri in the first place. We don't really know what happened to her life back before she ended up becoming a Kabaneri. And also we see in this episode that despite all the hints, it looks like we got some confirmation that she was also involved with some people at the time, and she ended up losing someone close to her, it seems. Maybe, possibly even her sister. It could be her childhood friend that was killed from another Kabane. So, when it comes to Mumei and when it comes to Ikuma, they are, two halves of the same coin. They both had a loss that they have faced from the Kabane, and they are both Kabaneri at this point, and it really just seems that they are connected in some way, and it seems like they also have, the same goal in mind. It seems that Ikuma, he wants to rid the world of the Kabane and pretty much, bring peace throughout the world, and when it comes to Mumei, on the other hand, in this episode we see I can't remember the guy's name, but we see that Mumei had some sort of connection with this other stranger in the past who seems to be keeping an eye on her in the train carts, and he tells her, remember your mission. Don't get too involved with these people, because as we have seen throughout the last episode and also in this episode, that Mumei is starting to develop feelings for these characters. And we even had that dog scene where Mumei was trying to calm down that kid by basically saying, hey, you know what, maybe it was probably for the best that your dog ended up dying. And of course no one wants to hear that, especially a little kid. Losing anyone close to you is going to have a very traumatic experience on your character as a person, and it never leaves you. Losing someone close to you, it never leaves you. And Mumei just doesn't see it that way. She can't really feel the sort of connection that she does, like, as these other humans do, because herself, she is a Kabane, or half Kabane, and, the humans are pretty much just ordinary citizens, while she is considered a monster to these other humans, and also she's had several experiences in her past where, she has probably lost people who she was connected to at a time, and she, is probably thinking that, it's probably for the best that, they're dead, rather than me having some form of, an emotional attachment toward them, because they might end up dying anyway. They can die tomorrow, they can die today, they can die anytime, possibly, so it's probably for the best that I do not form any sort of attachment towards these humans. But of course we see, Mumei in these past few episodes of Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress start to develop some sort of a human side to her character. But what I'm just trying to say is that, psychologically speaking, Mumei cannot relate on a personal level as these other humans who are on the train. And going back to the events in her past, where she ended up losing this special someone to her friend, her sister, whoever it was, had a very dramatic experience, or a traumatic experience on her character. And, when it comes to who she is getting involved with, when it comes to these guys that she has connections with, like, we're not exactly sure, the whole overall backstory that Mumei has right now, but it seems that they want her to accomplish a mission. And from what we know right now is that she is taking out a bunch of Kabane. So it seems that Ikuma and Mumei, like I said before, are two halves of the same coin. They are both trying to accomplish the same sort of goal. Ikuma wants to rid the world of Kabane, make, peace for humanity, and it seems that you know, these guys are using Mumei to take out the Kabane in order for them to have a better world. But, you know, when it comes to these guys who are telling Mumei what to do, it seems like they see her more as a object rather than a human. That kind of like went along longer than I expected, but hopefully you got my point. And then, of course, the other half of this episode was to pretty much, you know, lift up this wreckage that was blocking the train in order for them to continue onward. And to do this, they had to stop by a factory in the boiler room. And within the boiler room, there was a bunch of Kabane. Mumei completely took out a shit ton, but only to find out that there was still more in the process. And it looks like now, in the next episode of Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, we are going to see Ikuma, Mumei, and, you know, the rest of the cast of characters, you know, who are in this little predicament right now, about to take on this black shadow of the Kabane, I guess. And what it seems like it is that it's a, you know, a huge monster that is built upon multiple Kabane. So yeah, that about does it for this episode of Kabaneri the Iron Fortress. We got a decent amount of action within this episode, and also, if it was anything that we really got out of this episode of Kabaneri the Iron Fortress, it would have to be the development of Mumei's character, and just figuring out more about the mystery that surrounds her character in general. Even if it was only vaguely hinted at, we still learned a bit more about Mumei's character in this episode, and, you know, I can't wait to actually see what happened in the past with her character later down the line. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what you thought about this episode of Kabaneri the Iron Fortress. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to drop a like. It is always greatly appreciated. And if you want to stick up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.